Hello everyone, my name is Pallavi and my topic for the final project is Agile Change Management. These are the contents. I'll talk about Agile and Agile frameworks. I'll explain about change management and why is it needed. I'll also talk about traditional versus Agile change management and their differences and various ways of prioritizing the requirements and the best practices in Agile change management. I'll also talk about the interviews and the survey results. Agile is an incremental and iterative development model. So in Agile, we always involve customer, and there's a lot of customer collaboration. We get customer feedback at every point by showing the working software to the customer. Agile is always adaptable to change. It encourages change even late in the development cycle. There are various ways of implementing Agile through various frameworks based on the team size, project duration, stability of the project, cost, and so on. Scrum, XP, Lean, Kanban, Crystal are the most popular agile methodologies. And in a survey conducted by version 1 in 2011, it has been proved that more than 50% of the projects follow Scrum. So there are three main roles in Scrum: product owner, Scrum master, and the team. Owner is the owner of the product, and the product owner guides the development team throughout the development life cycle. Scrum master is a facilitator between the customer and the team actually implements the product. And in every sprint, a potentially shippable product is delivered to the customer and demo to the customer to get the feedback and the change. And if at all there are any changes to be incorporated, they'll be pushed to the upcoming sprints. Extreme programming is another agile framework where the focus is mainly on customer satisfaction. XP is a methodology where the software is developed as the customer needs. And in this model, the testing starts from day one and it encourages pair programming. It empowers the team to respond to the changes confidently. So, these are the principles: communication, simplicity, feedback, respect, and courage. Lean also is one of the agile model. In fact, agile follows lean principles to incrementally develop the software, and the core idea of lean is eliminate waste or non-value added activities. So we do not want to implement or focus anything on the non-value added activities. In lean, we decide as late as possible and we deliver as fast as possible by amplifying learning, knowing more about the requirements and the system to be developed. So Kanban is another agile framework where the focus is on just-in-time delivery. So the work will be done by visualizing the workflow and limiting the work in progress. The workflow will be visualized with the help of sticky notes, let's say, and the team is very clear on where on how the project is progressing. The team will be relieved from the workload because the team can be shared by different teams as the progress of the project is pretty clear and the bottlenecks can be removed easily. Crystal is another popular agile framework. It's a family of development methodologies because not one model fits all the projects, and it focuses mainly on customer face-to-face communication. It actually prefers co-located customers rather than distributed teams. Chartering, cyclic delivery, wrap up are the three phases in Crystal model where they deal with initial planning and requirements gathering. Cyclic delivery deals with iterations where the development model will be released every 2 weeks to 3 months, and wrap up is the final deployment of the software. And typically, there will be 2 or 3 development life cycles in Crystal model. Coming to change management, why is change management so important and why do we even require it? So these are the few points, few causes of the change management. So one is incomplete requirements. The customer is not always clear of what is needed, so the requirements are almost incomplete. And new customer requirements, incorrect or redundant requirements, change in marketplace. To keep up with the competition, customer all needs a change in the system being developed. Technologies evolution. Nowadays technologies are emerging and it's important to keep up with the technologies. Organizational changes or politics, system empowerment, defect identification or system implementation errors. Due to misunderstanding of the requirements or design gaps being existing, there is always a defect which creeps in, and to overcome the defect, we need to bring in changes. What is change management? It is all about managing and implementing the changes rather than preventing them. So the changes are always encouraged, and there is a disciplined, streamlined way of implementing the changes in the requirements. So we cannot always avoid changes, but rather changes must be encouraged, and that is what change management deals with. It is inevitable for any software, and we need change management, that too a robust and reliable change management, because there is always a possibility of the breakage in the existing system if we implement the changes straightforward. So there is a need to assess, plan, implement and track the changes systematically with a process. Traditional model, we know that scope, quality, time, cost of the project is everything is locked down, and there is no anticipation of changes, and if at all changes has to occur, it incurs a heavy penalty on the cost and quality of the project. Also, if at all it is to be implemented, a thorough risk analysis must be made, and it has to be approved by the product as well as the project managers without compromising the quality of the product to be delivered. But in Agile, the rationale of Agile itself is rapid change management. It embraces changes, and the scope is quite flexible in Agile. The importance of change in Agile is being mentioned in Agile Manifesto. Responding to change over following plan is one of the values, and welcome changing requirements even late in the development is one of the core principles of Agile. So, change management in Agile also includes prioritization of techniques and risk mitigation plans. So, these are the various ways of prioritizing requirements. The first one is Moscow. So, in this model, tag each requirement in the backlog to MSEW. M is must, which means it must be implemented. S is should, it should be implemented if possible. C could, where the requirement could be implemented if it doesn't have any impact on anything else in the project. W is won't, means we do not require as of now, we might require in future. So M being the highest priority and W being the lowest priority. Business value based, so each requirement in the project delivers some business value. So the priorities are assigned to the requirements based on the business value offered. Higher priority requirements deliver more business benefit, and this priority should be decided by the product owner. Technology risk based, so this is about prioritizing requirements based on the technical risk involved in implementing the changes. The higher the technical risk is, the more priority requirement is. Kano model, it deals with assigning the priority based on the customer preferences on quality. For example, must be or basic, it means it must be implemented for customer satisfaction, otherwise the customer will be dissatisfied. So based on the satisfaction and dissatisfaction levels of the end user, the customer will decide which requirement needs to be implemented first. Walking skeleton is all about picking up the requirements needed to develop a minimum viable product with all the features end to end in a short span of time. So using that minimum viable product, customer will give the feedback as to what actually is needed and what not. So based on that, the actual product can be developed. Validated learning, so here the features are picked with the highest market risk. So the highest risk features are implemented and released to the market. Based on the feedback we get from the customer, we apply the learning and to develop the new features required for the project. Practices in agile change management. So, the principal factors of the agile change management are embracing change and responsiveness. Iterative and incremental development with short feedback cycles is the key to embrace change, and having close customer collaboration is the key to being responsive in agile model. Uh, for us to implement the changes quickly in agile, the change management proposes to minimize the following. The first is cost of knowledge transfer within the team. So within the team, there should not be any dependencies in the agile model. So the cost of knowledge transfer within the team should be minimized, and amount of knowledge captured or updated in the artifacts. Uh, Whenever some change comes, this shouldn't be a longer process to update the change in the artifacts, like documenting the change, waiting for approvals at various levels actually delays the development time of the change. So the amount of knowledge updated should be minimized. Also, the waiting time in making decisions. A lot of the times we actually wait for longer times for the customer to come and approve, or for the project manager or senior manager to come and approve the decisions, but it actually delays the implementing the change. So these waiting times should be reduced, and these are the key two aspects of agile change management: be more responsive to change requests. By having short and frequent iterations and getting customer feedback continuously, we can be more responsive to change requests. Collaboration and communication. There should be a constant collaboration with the customer. Customer should be involved at every point in agile. And risk analysis and intimation. Whenever a change is proposed by the customer, a thorough risk analysis and impact analysis should be made, and it has to be intimated to the customer properly. Otherwise, the customer may be misguided. Team empowerment. Team should be empowered to implement any changes they notice. For example, if there is a bug in the code, they should be given freedom to change the structure of the code. They shouldn't wait for the approvals for implementing and even minor changes. Implement the changes quickly and easily. So once we are responsive to change requests, we should implement the changes quickly and easily. So by keeping the cycles short and complete, the customer will be realizing the software in a better way, and they would be able to propose changes which will add more business value to the project. Product design. When the project is being developed and designed, it should be an emerging design, and it should be able to incorporate new changes very easily. Minimizing non-code artifacts. As I mentioned earlier, non-code artifacts like documentation and approvals should be minimized. Focus. So the focus is only on the current iteration in agile model. So once the current iteration is done, further changes in the current iteration can be implemented in the next iterations. So I have interviews with two companies. These are the interviewees, Manishi Sharma. So they have faced some challenges while migrating an old project to the new system with the new technology, as they encountered a lot of design issues and requirement changes with the waterfall model. They adopted Scrum methodology, and with that, they were able to successfully deliver the new product. And this is Suhas Tare. He's the Scrum Master of a project in Ericsson. So they have a contract with the customer, and after 8 months of development, the customer proposed a new change, a new addition to the existing design, but the system did not support, as it was following waterfall model. So they had to adopt agile scrum framework, and they have used rally tool to track the progress of the project. And with that, the system has become very flexible, and they even delivered a few more additional services to the customer without compromising on the quality and on time. So this is a survey I have taken by few software employees, and they have responded to how they deploy agile and the respective change management policies in the workplace every day. And I have received the responses that more than 80% prefer agile scrum, and the greatest benefit of agile is customer satisfaction. After that, it is the ability to incorporate changes. So concluding what all I talked about, agile change management, these are the key benefits: responsiveness to accept change requests, risk minimization because we will be implementing the changes early in the project, flexibility and transparency is quite clear in agile model, customer satisfaction is of the utmost importance and it is great in agile, and product quality is uncompromised. Business value, the highest, since the requirements are prioritized, the highest priority requirement is implemented first, hence it delivers the greatest business value. The delivery of the project is on time, and the cost of the project will be reduced because the changes will be implemented earlier in the cycle, the project cost will be reduced. So all the projects who are implementing agile should follow strict change management policies and processes to have a better product and to achieve customer satisfaction. That's all from my side. Thank you.